cooking oil, which no, don't use that. Use 100% anchor butter, which is salted. Hindi mo ko nag-advertise. Sinasabi ko naman. Okay? Did I answer your question, Mr. Tagalog? It's Mr. English. Okay, okay. Now, vitamin D. Vitamin D comes from bad cholesterol. So it's not bad. Bad cholesterol, this supplies your skin with cholesterol called 7-dehydrocholesterol. And when it's exposed to the sun, between 9 or 10 or 11 in the morning, just a few minutes, 10 to 15, the 7-dehydrocholesterol supplied by LDL cholesterol converts into cholecalciferol, which we call vitamin D. But vitamin D is not only vitamin, it is a hormone. In the liver, it is sent to the liver, where it is converted to calcidiol. Calcidiol, D-I-O-L. Because it is an alcohol. That is a pre-hormone. And finally, to the kidney and to the lungs as calcitriol. Now, as calcitriol, what is the role of vitamin D? Now, a hormone. It is involved in absorption of calcium. Well, we have bone cells called fibroblasts. When the fibroblasts, osteoblasts rather. When the osteoblast, the bone cell, is calcified, it becomes osteocyte. If you have enough vitamin D, you absorb enough calcium, you get very sturdy bones, strong bones. But without vitamin D, don't get enough calcium, you get weak bones. The result is osteoporosis. In Tagalog, marupok na buto. Osteoporosis. So that's only one role of vitamin D. Another role of vitamin D, I already mentioned, for gene expression to control, prevent, and treat cancer, or reverse cancer. And another role of vitamin D is for immune cells. The vitamin D controls 1,000 genes to empower the immune cells for signaling purposes. The signals, and then the white blood cells can now fight bacteria, virus, and cancer. Without vitamin D, your immune cells will be useless. It's just like you send military warfare to a place. You brought their machine gun, you brought their cannons and everything, torpedoes, and airplanes. But when you fire that, it don't work. Because you need the computer to work there, right? And the computer is controlled by vitamin D. So you cannot fight. The immune cells are there, but they are useless immune cells. And when the immune cells are destroyed, they are repaired by vitamin, by LDL cholesterol. So you see how important is LDL cholesterol in medicine. Okay, so that's vitamin D. Another vitamin is vitamin E. Vitamin E has only one function. It's a powerful antioxidant. Okay? As a powerful antioxidant, it can prevent damage caused by heated polyunsaturated fatty acids. Corn oil, canola oil, soybean oil, sunflower, when they are heated, they become dangerous. They will destroy anything in the human body. They will cause heart attack, they will cause stroke, they will cause cancer, and the liver will commit suicide in the presence of excess polyunsaturated fatty acids. The liver cells commit apoptosis if there is too much polyunsaturated. But in the presence of butter, the liver is happy. And the skin is destroyed by polyunsaturated fatty acids. So that's the effect of cholesterol lowering. And the origin of vitamin E, example, look at this, is to prevent damage, even carcinogenesis caused by cooking oil. Example, this is in the journal. 2 sets of rats. They were painted with carcinogenic chemicals. One set was given corn oil that is not heated. Another set was given corn oil that was heated. Corn oil that was used in cooking French fries. Those that were given corn oil that is not heated develop cancer. Not develop cancer. No? They are spared from cancer because corn oil is not disastrous if it is not heated. But those given corn oil used in French fries, 50% develop cancer. So you see, that's the corn oil, you get cancer. And that could be prevented by vitamin E. Now, next vitamin is vitamin K. Vitamin K is known as a coagulant factor, clotting factor. It prevents bleeding because it promotes platelet clotting. Now, vitamin K is very important when you have cancer, because cancer, they have bleeding and infection. They bleed because their stem cells fall by the effect of chemotherapy. So they are prone to bleeding and attack, and they can die of that. That's for cancer patient. And then another thing, that is for vitamin K. Another role of vitamin K is also for bone building. Okay. Anyway, for bleeding purposes, if you have dengue, you need a lot of vitamin K. I mean K2 and K3. And if you get liver, the liver is the best source. Okay. Then, another role of vitamin K is for bone building. It is involved in the multiplication, proliferation of the osteoblast cells. These are bone cells that when calcified, they become osteocytes. Now, so vitamin K and vitamin D are both involved in bone building. And another role, vitamin K is anti-cancer. So look at this. In the milk alone, if you have cancer, you get antibodies, anti-cancer. You get active protein for anti-cancer. If the milk is unpasteurized, then you get 4 fat-soluble vitamins. Suppose the manufacturer will put in your non-fat milk vitamin A, D, E, K. Usually these are all synthetic. What will happen? Will they be absorbed? No. Because they are fat-soluble vitamins. They need cream and fat to be absorbed. Without fat, you eat meats without fat, lean meat, so all the vitamins will be thrown to the stream. Alright. So that's one of the results. Now, I'll just move very fast. Another thing is in the cream, CLA, conjugated linoleic acid. That will be presented, but I'd like to spend it. CLA can deter growth of cancer in all stages. Initiation, growth, and promotion, and metastasis. So CLA can stop cancer in all stages. Chemotherapy can only stop cancer in one stage at a time, but CLA can do it simultaneously. As little as 0.5% conjugated linoleic acid can arrest growth of cancer by 50%. And where do you get CLA? You get that from the cream of the milk. You get that from saturated fat. So kumain na kayo ng beef belly, saturated fat, nandun ang CLA. And you get CLA from bone marrow and from brain. And because you are not allowed to eat all these things, because of fear of cholesterol, your cancer will keep on growing. Okay, another word called CLA, it is also a powerful antioxidant, just like vitamin E and glutathione. It prevents heart attack and stroke, as you will see later on the slides. So conjugated linoleic acid, so saturated fats prevents heart attack and stroke and cancer. Now it's the opposite, right? Saturated fat. You will see later on the slides. The study showing Framingham study on the 49th year, they found out saturated fats prevents cancer, prevents stroke and heart attack. Okay? Next, CLA is anti-diabetes. Why? It will improve your insulin sensitivity. If you have diabetes type 2, you have insulin resistance. You need only CLA. The CLA is just like diabetic drugs. So if you take CLA, you remove the resistance and your blood sugar falls. And when you get CLA, the best source is still milk. That's why babies not given the cream, they develop diabetes. Because the CLA is there. And another role of the CLA is to break your appetite. Okay? Our fat cells contain leptin. When you eat, the leptin goes to the hypothalamus and stop the what you call the appetite center. Okay? So you don't eat anymore. But when you drink, but leptin effect works only in the presence of CLA. That means CLA prevents obesity. So if you are drinking non-fat milk every 2 hours, you'll be hungry because there's no CLA, so you keep on eating and eating and eating. That's why in America, they are fond of eating non-fat milk, but they are becoming obese. Alright, that's the effect of CLA. Another thing, butyric acid, and that is butter fat. Butyric acid contains short chain, and it's found in butter and in the cream of milk. So the role of butyric acid is it will stabilize the gastrointestinal tract. no bacteria, no virus, no cancer will grow there in the presence of butyric acid. And the butyric acid will start because your gastrointestinal tract, you prevent Crohn's disease. You prevent irritations. You will have a normal gastrointestinal tract. And where do you get butyric acid? You get that from butter. Okay. It's also anti-cancer. Now in the brain, butyric acid becomes GABA. What is GABA? Gamma aminobutyric acid. What's the role of that? That is a neurotransmitter in the brain that will relax you, to prevent, to relax you, so that you are not stressed and you are not depressed. If you are deficient in butter, butyric acid, your personality becomes double personality. Ang tawag ko sa bipolar, depressed or violent, because of lack of butter. That's why when you have butter in the family, you become buttered wife and buttered children. Your husband, bubog-buging kayo. You need only butter. You know what's the use of GABA? If there is mental cases that become violent, they give them injection of Valium, right? Valium acts on GABA to relax you. So where do you get GABA? You get that from butter. And since babies are not given butter, they become hyperactive. They become autistic. It could have easily been prevented by proper giving them food to get. Then another, last na lang ito. Then we can start already the presentation. Sphingomyelin is also found in the clinical brain. Sphingomyelin, okay? Now, we have in the brain what we call the center for emotion. That is animalistic center in the hypothalamus. But that is para kang ahas. Pag tinapakan mo ang ahas, ano gagawin sa inyo? If you step on the snake, what will happen to you? The snake will bite you. And that is our attitude. We are like snakes. Okay. But that is controlled by the higher center in the cerebrum. The cerebrum dictates the lower center. Don't do this, don't do that. That is a violation of the Ten Commandments. Okay, so you behave. So that's why if your sphingomyelin is lacking, just like a boyfriend, he ran over the girlfriend. After killing the girlfriend, he shot himself. It's too late when he realized he made the mistake, right? Like two neighbors, dalawang magpinsan, okay? They had a party in this neighbor, and then in the adjoining neighbor, all the guests here parked in front of the neighbor. When he was coming out of the gate, he could not cross the gate because they are older, parked. So he got mad. Who allowed you to park in front of my house? Yeah, your pinsan, your neighbor, your pinsan, your cousin. So his cousin came and said, "Sorry, my cousin." He pulled out his gun and shot his cousin several times on the head. Empty the revolver. And that's what we call animalistic attitude, right? Then he loaded again and he keep on shooting on a dead body. He's like ulbong, cobra. Then he loaded again and then he killed himself. Because it's too late. Before the communication gets there, it's too late. He has killed himself. That's why if your cholesterol is low, you be killing people left and right. So without the cream, you become a criminal. Don't drink non-fat milk, especially for babies. You will destroy your brain. Okay, I can start now.
What is the source of your
Polymyelin?
Oh, milk. By the way, before I answer you, if you have cancer, from the unpasteurized milk, you have the antibodies that kills cancer. You have active protein that kills cancer. You have vitamin A, D, E, K that kills cancer. You have CLA, butyric acid, sphingomyelin that kills cancer. You have 12 ingredients in unpasteurized milk to kill cancer. And most of these are gone with the wind. If you are using pasteurized and at the same time non-fat milk. They take a bath and drink the milk there. Because it is unpasteurized, the government does not allow you to drink that milk. So I can drink that milk. It is only for taking a bath. So I go to the comfort room, I take a bath and drink the unpasteurized. So there is no law against me. But in the Philippines, I have that only in my clinic. I'm the only doctor who had that because I have to go to the milk producer and they supply SM and so on. But please don't give the name because they will close our shop. But if I'm called, I can present, I can go to the Supreme Court and back up my claim. So to save a lot of cancer patients, to save a lot of pneumonia patients. Okay? Now it's available in my clinic. Yes, all unpasteurized milk you can drink. Well, of course, the best milk when you talk about alkyl glycerol kills cancer. It is very high in the milk, but it is all, the breast milk has 10 times more alkyl glycerol. So if you have cancer, sino po may cancer dito? Kung may cancer kayo, so sabihin nyo sa kumari nyo, kumari, pwede bang nakialam mo rin dyan? So sabihin kumari, pasensya na kumari, pure. So, you need breast milk. Breast milk is the best for cancer. 10 times more AKG. Yes. Yes, Carabao is okay. Any kind of milk. So long as unpasteurized. I never use pasteurized milk in the family, right?
The shelf life of the raw milk.
If you put that in the freezer, it will last up to 2027. And that's already the second time at the freezer process. It won't spoil if it is in the freezer. So what you do, you throw it, then you drink it. You do that in the family, and the sickness will depart from you. All sickness. No virus, no bacteria, no cancer. That's the promise of the Lord. Claim it from God.
When you buy it, it's frozen.
But yeah?
When you buy it, it's frozen, then you bring it home to store it.
Yes. Always mix that with honey. Okay. Pwede na kami start, no? So now we start. Whey. Oh, it's also in the Bible. The Bible says, I am the way, the truth, the truth. That way is W-A-Y. A virgin shall give birth, and his name is Emmanuel. Isaiah 7 verse 14. Curds and honey he will eat. So the Lord is drinking curds, kinakain niya. What is curds? You get that from milk. If the milk is converted, if you put sugar, lactobacillus and bifido, that becomes yogurt, right? And you apply from the gastric juice of the fourth stomach of the cow. The milk has two kinds of protein, casein and whey. The casein protein is called whey, and that becomes carbs. Yung carbs niya, kasi ito yung kinakain niyo ng baby ko siya. Carbs and honey. And the remaining liquid is the whey. So, incidentally, the Lord's, I give whey milk for babies also. Newborn babies. Kung wala pa. Yes.
Yung vitamin D, you said it's antioxidant.
Yes, diba?
Makakabili ba kami sa mercury or sa AP yung
I'll show you how it will damage you. Keep trans fatty acid consumption as low as possible by limiting food that contains synthetic sources of trans fat, such as partially hydrogenated oils, and by limiting other solid fats. Hydrogenated oils, okay, you can limit that, trans fat. Yung tinatawag natin margarine, right? Okay, you know what's a margarine? Well, the margarine is bad. It is a trans fat. When you say trans fat, it is not cis fat in orientation. They are just mirror image. The cis fat is found in our body, but we don't have trans fat in our body. The trans fat is extraterrestrial, ET. But cis fat found in butter is good for us. Okay. Okay, 2010 guidelines still about the salt. Still 10%. Okay. That is American Heart Association 2006 guideline. Okay, balance calorie intake and physical activity to achieve or maintain healthy body weight. Consume a diet rich in vegetable and fruits. To choose whole grain, high fiber foods. Consume fish, especially but oily fish, at least 2 times a week. Okay, where's the saturated fat? Yeah, you have, in my case, you have to increase your saturated fat intake. You like to fight cancer and CRA. Choosing lean meat. With me, I allow big belly. I almost eat that every day. Okay? Big belly. Big belly, 50% fats. Because the fat has the CLA, which will stabilize your skin, which will kill cancer cells. Okay? If you have cancer, you eat a lot of fats. Okay, selecting fat-free skin. Mine is the opposite. I recommend full cream milk. You know already why, no? Unpasteurized. Choose and prepare foods with little or no salt. Choose and prepare food with adequate salt. Without salt, if it is too hot, you can die of stroke. Because salt prevents kidney from releasing renin. In summer, if it is very hot, you perspire a lot, you lose salt. If salt fall, so the liver will release renin. And the renin will convert into angiotensin in the liver, okay? And then ultimately to angiotensin 1, okay? Which is a pre-hypertensive agent. And ultimately into angiotensin 2. Angiotensin 2 is 40 times more powerful than adrenaline in causing high blood pressure. So that's what we call malignant hypertension. So you get that during summer if you are in a low salt diet, so you die. The Lord said salt is good. He said that, right? Salt is good. That's in the Bible. According to Paul Morales and colleagues in the January 22, 2009 edition of the American Journal of Preventive Medicine, the Dietary Guideline Advisory Committee has suggested that the recommendation to lower fat advised in the 1995 guidelines and carried over in the 2010 guidelines had perhaps been ill-advised. He said ill-advised and might actually have some potential harm. But are they? The previous priority given to a low-fat intake may lead people to believe that as long as fat intake is low, the diet will be entirely helpful. This belief could engender an overconsumption of total calories in the form of carbohydrates. That's result to what we call pyramid diet, resulting in the adverse metabolic consequences of high carbo diet. Okay, as an increasing prevalence of obesity in the United States has corresponded roughly with an absolute increase in carbohydrate consumption. If you increase your carbohydrate consumption, that is the pyramid diet, what do you get? You get cancer, you get heart attack, you get stroke, you get diabetes, you get obesity, all due to CLA deficiency. And this is now happening in America, you know, right? These are actually the epidemics in America. What are they? Cancer, heart attack, stroke, diabetes, and obesity caused by lack of saturated fat. The late Oxford professor David Horwin warned us about reducing cholesterol in the population on large scale could lead to a general shift to more violent patterns of behavior, aggressive behavior. Most of this increased violence will not result in death, but in more aggression at work and in the family, more child abuse, more wife beating, and generally more unhappiness. So cholesterol lowering is destroying the family, destroying the school, destroying the world, destroying MM. That is Muntinlupa and Mandalupa. What is cholesterol? It's the soft, waxy substance or fat, lipid. We call it fat is lipid in medical terms, produced by the liver, which is about 75% of the body's cholesterol requirement. So the liver is producing 75%. It is crucial for normal body function. It is found not only in the bloodstream, but is also an integral, important part of our cell membranes. All cell membranes has cholesterol. Without cholesterol, your membranes will leak, will open up, and it will accept cancer, it will accept bacteria, it will accept virus. With cholesterol, the cell membrane is impermeable to bacteria, virus, and cancer. How important is cholesterol? Cholesterol is carried in the blood by molecules called lipoproteins. That means fats with protein, lipoprotein, lipids, okay? A lipoprotein is any complex of compound containing both lipid, fat, and protein. The three main types are, we discussed, LDL, low density lipoprotein, HDL, lipoprotein carries cholesterol from the periphery to the liver, VLDL, very low density lipoprotein. VLDL carries cholesterol and triglycerides to the periphery and then distribute triglycerides, and after triglyceride is distributed, VLDL becomes LDL cholesterol. So LDL carries only cholesterol. Okay. And they call this bad and they call this good. I will explain that this is all good for us. There's no such thing as bad cholesterol. LDL particles come in many sizes. Large LDL are not a problem, but only the so-called small dense LDL. Small dense LDL is normally harmless, but can be a potential problem because they can squeeze through the lining of the arteries and become oxidized. But I will tell you later, it's not LDL that's causing the problem. I'll show you the slides later. Oxidized LDL can penetrate and interact dangerously in the walls of the arteries, producing a harmful inflammatory response. Now I'll show later that it's not. Okay? The main villain in the cholesterol story does often refer to LDL as bad cholesterol. According to conventional thinking, LDL may build up in the arteries, forming plaque that makes arteries narrow and less flexible. But the truth is this, according to the Circulation Journal in America, okay? Oxidative modification of LDL results in the following: lipid hydroperoxides, lysophospholipid, and carbonyl compounds. But these products are not found in the lipid fraction of atheroma. So thus all LDL oxidation hypothesis remains unproven. Why is it that we are still accepting this until now? So the institutions, the doctors should change their thinking. It is not LDL that is destroying. As I already said, it helps us. HDL, it's commonly known as good cholesterol because it lowers the chance of developing cardiovascular disease. Okay, it takes cholesterol from your body's tissues and arteries back to the liver, where most of our cholesterol is produced. HDL are also part of the innate immune system due to their ability to bind a number of toxic substances in the blood. HDL, that is the job of the LDL. Okay, I don't know why it is there also, no? HDL has antioxidant properties that helps prevent oxidation of LDL. Very low density lipoprotein, a type of lipoprotein made in the liver. VLDL is one of the 5 major groups of lipoproteins: chylomicrons, VLDL, low density, intermediate density lipoprotein, and high density lipoprotein that enable fats and cholesterol to move within the water-based solution in the bloodstream. VLDL is assembled in the liver from triglycerides, cholesterol, and apolipoproteins, that is the carrier. VLDL is converted in the bloodstream to low-density lipoprotein. Functions of cholesterol: provide structural integrity to the cell. Okay? Stable cells with cholesterol.